Assalamualaikum. Hi madam, my name is AINUL NATASHA binti ZAMRI and my matric number is 2021867604.
Assalamualaikum and have a good day, madam. My name is FARHANAH binti AHMAD and my ID number is 2021467146.
Hi, my name is AUNIE MAYSARAH binti MUHIDIN and my ID number is 2021869324.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is EFFA ERRISYA binti Muhammad AZMY. My matrix number is 2021818096.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is SAFIRAH binti ILIAS and my matric number is 202-121-1918.
Hi, my name is AMIRA binti MAHADI. My student ID is 2021208728.
Today, we want to present about the worst unemployment in South Africa. Now, I would like to share a bit about the history of South Africa. South Africa, officially the Republic of South Africa (RSA), is the southernmost country in Africa. It is bounded to the south by 2,798 kilometers, which is 1,739 miles of coastline that stretch along the South Atlantic and Indian Oceans. Flag of South Africa. The flag of South Africa was designed in March 1994 and adopted on 27 April 1994. South Africa's flag is one of the most colorful, boasting a total of 6 colors. The red, white and blue were taken from the flag of the Boer republics. The remaining 3 colors, green, black and gold, were taken from the flag of the African National Congress. The green is the mean to symbolize the fertility of the land. The black is representative of the people of the nation, while the gold represents the nation's mineral wealth.
Maps of South Africa. South Africa is the third populous country on the African continent. It is bordered by Namibia to the northwest, by Botswana and Zimbabwe to the north, and by Mozambique and Eswatini to the northeast. The most important states in South Africa are Pretoria, Johannesburg, Bloemfontein and Cape Town. There are 3 cities that function as the capitals of South Africa, which are Pretoria as the administrative capital, Cape Town as the legislative capital and Bloemfontein as the judicial capital.
So now, I want to talk about total population in South Africa. The current population of South Africa is 61,197,721 as of Friday, January 13, 2023, based on Worldometer elaboration of the latest United Nations data. The population of South Africa represents 0.73% of the world's total population, which arguably means that 1 person in every 138 people on the planet is a resident of South Africa. There are 4 types South of Africa. The top race in this country is Black African. As we usually see on the internet, mostly of them has black skin, was recorded 80.90%. The second is mixed colored, has 8.80%. Next, they also has white race, which is 7.80%. Last, the record of Indian is 2.50%.
Language. There are 13 official languages that used in South Africa. But the main language that is already used in South Africa is isiZulu, isiXhosa and Afrikaans.
So, let me explain about the culture of South Africa. As you can see, this is the culture of South Africa. South Africa has been famously referred to as the Rainbow Nation because it is made up of so many diverse cultures and religions.
This graph shows the economic growth in South Africa. They are aimed at reviving and flagging economy whose growth over the past 5 years has averaged only 1.1%, while the real rate of unemployment has climbed towards 40%. GDP from construction in South Africa is expected to be 11,099 million by the end of this quarter. According to Trading Economic Global Macro Models and Analyst Expectation, you can clearly see economic data of South Africa. Services are becoming a significant input into manufactured goods. This is in response to consumers' demand for more sophisticated and branded products. Services are prominent in 3 of 5 overarching themes in the Ministry of Finance growth agenda. The first one is modernizing network services, the second one is prioritizing labor-intensive growth, the third one is export competitiveness and regional growth opportunities. So, this shows that rather than being an alternative to manufacturing, mining or agriculture, services are complementary.
The first part that I want to present is about the main sector in South Africa. The main sector in South Africa is identified by services. The intermediate role of services can be measured in terms of its cost contribution to final output. Service requirements are around 12.5 cents per rand of final output in agriculture, mining, and manufacturing. The requirements for service industries themselves are 27.5 cents per rand of final output. The most important are utilities, construction, internal trade, transport, communication, financial, and business services. In addition to the cost contribution, many of these services offer the main source of competitiveness or productivity growth to various sectors in the economy. For instance, information technology is a critical source of competitiveness and productivity in finance and manufacturing.
Currency of South Africa. The South African Rand, which is ZAR, is the official currency of South Africa and is issued by South African Reserve Bank. The South African Rand has the symbol R. It is subdivided into 100 cents.
The next part is about the definition of unemployment. The percentage of unemployed workers in the labor force is known as the unemployment rate. Workers who are not actively employed but have the ability to do so are counted in the unemployment rate. So, let's move on to the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate in South Africa was 33.9% in the second quarter of 2022. In the second quarter of 2022, there were 132,000 more unemployment people than the previous quarter, which is only totaling 8 million. And between the two quarters, there was a net decrease of 635,000 in the population of unemployed people.
Next, types of unemployment happen. The major proportion of unemployment in South Africa is structural. Structural unemployment is caused by changes in the composition of labor supply and demand.
Structural unemployment occurs because workers lack the requisite job skills or live too far from regions where jobs are available and cannot move closer. This type of unemployment is not sensitive to the changes in aggregate demand. Hence, structural unemployment is the unemployment that exists when the economy is at full employment. So, let's check it out about factors that lead or contribute to structural unemployment in South Africa. The first factor is about the lasting effect of apartheid. South Africa experienced a heightened form of racial discrimination which denied the black community access to equal opportunities with the whites. And the second factor is the effect of the Great Recession. The recession led to many people losing jobs, especially those in the manufacturing sector. And the third factor is about the low levels of entrepreneurship. In South Africa has recorded little growth as few people ventured into entrepreneurship.
Fourth, COVID-19's impact on construction and manufacturing workers. Manufacturing in South Africa is suffering just as much economic downturn as construction, though having lost 80,000 jobs in the last quarter of 2021. And the last one is the labor demand and supply mismatch. The number of jobs available simply does not accommodate for all of those entering the market.
So now, we move to the effect from unemployment to individuals, society, and country. So for individuals, we have health problems. Being unemployed is a highly stressful situation, so it may cause stress-related health issues such as headache, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, back pain, and insomnia. So for health problems, individuals who are employed have less family and marital satisfaction and increased family challenges compared to unemployed people. Negative familial effects is another mental health challenge that unemployed individuals often face is anxiety. So for society, effects of unemployment on society. High unemployment rates in certain areas often lead to higher poverty rates and poorer neighborhoods that amplify the societal impact of unemployment. For country, unemployment can affect one's social status ascription as well, which manifests through stigmatization, labeling, unfair judgment, and marginalization.
So, how to solve the unemployment in South Africa? So, the first way is we need to tackling unemployment in South Africa. They propose that the presidential employment stimulus funding be doubled to rand 30 billion, and this will help create 1 million job opportunities for the youth. Other suggestions included a more responsive education system that builds workforces with future-proof skills. The second way how to solve the unemployment problem in South Africa is we need to use possible solutions as much as we can, such as the green economy has been identified as one solution to the unemployment crisis in South Africa, which is it can innovate solutions to youth unemployment and local environmental issues. The fact is, the youth will bear the burden of climate change effects.
Third, government response. He said it required accelerated economic growth in labor-intensive sectors. This is to be supported by building the capability of the state to fulfill its role in development. And the last one, number 4, rising taxes to subsidize the employment of young South Africans. This may be the only practical and political possible way to provide more opportunities for them, especially in the market is not allow more freedom to address the employment issue by offering wages and other employment benefits that workers are willing to accept.
So, let's move to the next point is definition of inflation. Inflation is the increase in the cost of goods and services in an economy. So, what is effect of inflation towards individuals, society, and country? Let me explain to you about it one by one. The most obvious impact of inflation is that it hurts your purchasing power. Number 2, society. Society is an inflationary environment unevenly rising prices inevitably reduce the purchasing power of some consumers. The last is country. Inflation affects all aspects of economy, from consumer spending, business investment, and employment rates to government program, tax policies, and interest rates.
Next, we move to South Africa policy. Unemployment in South Africa has doubled since transition. Unemployment is about 30% for men and 48% for women. So here we propose two policies to alleviate this unemployment. Each policy is designed to address aspects of the unemployment dilemma that are uniquely South African. The first policy recommendation is a targeted wage subsidy. We propose that at age 18, every South African receive an account in his or her name. This subsidy account will be funded by the government. The second policy recommendation is immigration reform to encourage the immigration of highly skilled individuals. It is proposed that anyone with a postgraduate degree from a credit institution be given a fast-track visa with automatic renewal. Three key patterns in employment data motivate the recommended policy responses. First, unemployment is much higher for younger workers than the older workers. Second, unemployment is quite high even for those with a matric, but it is very low for those with a university degree. Third, obtaining the first job in the school toward transition is a particular bottleneck. Fiscal policy. Fiscal policy can decrease unemployment by helping to increase aggregate demand and the rate of economic growth. It can reduce the level of borrowing used to finance current spending, reduce overall tax burden as a share of GDP over time, and reduce government consumption spending as a share of national income. If firms produce more, there will be an increase in the demand for jobs and therefore unemployment can be controlled. Monetary policy. The South African Reserve Bank is responsible for the formulation and implementation of monetary policy in South Africa. The main goal is to control inflation and maintain price stability, and to make monetary policy clear in order to improve planning and decision making by both the private and public sector. Policies to reduce unemployment on supply side. Education and training to solve occupational immobility. Remove labour market regulation to increase flexibility.
In conclusion, the design, targeting and capacity of South Africa youth unemployment policy intervention to adequately address the needs of young labour market entrants and employers all raise concern. The fact that supply-side initiatives addressing structural issues alone are insufficient to generate sufficient new jobs is an important lesson. Instead, demand-side incentive programs should work closely with this intervention.
Thank you all for our